Oh, it's summer and it's hot. And you don't want to have the oven on. Well, then you make something on top of the stove if you don't want to go outside and grill. And that's what we're doing today. Again, on Migueltio, the North Country Latino. We're going to make something really easy for a summer recipe. And that is escabeche. Escabeche is a fish recipe great in a lot of areas of the Caribbean and in other parts of the world too. You basically make almost like a pickled fish recipe, as some people call it. You're going to take your fish, a pound or two, doesn't matter what kind, whatever you want, put it on a preheated pan for about 3 minutes each side. Make sure that pan's got a little pan of butter, some like non-stick cooking spray that I always use, and let that fish go for about 3 minutes each side to get it nice and brown. We're starting out here this morning. Might as well show you some of the other things. After that fish is done, we're going to put some bay leaf, we're going to put some orange peel, we're going to put some garlic, some olive oil, some white pepper, some tarragon, and it's going to sit in the fridge for a little while. And that's how it gets its name, pickled fish, to some people. And of course, can't forget the green pepper and the onion, and the vinegar. So we're letting that fish get brown on one side for about 3 minutes, and then we're going to turn it over and repeat. Time to turn them over. With the other side. See how it's all browned a little bit. Don't turn your heat on too high. You don't want them to burn. You're not making that heavy. But another 3 minutes on this side will do. There you go. Set that timer. So get both sides nice and browned up. Time to get that fish off of the pan. And if it is nice and flaky, like this one is, don't even worry about it, because you're going to be breaking this up. Look at this, well, not overly done, but nice and perfectly done. And I know, okay, the perfection would be if you kept it all in one piece here, but guess what? You're not going to do that in the first place. And escabeche is something you break up your fish. We're not talking about a Friday night fish fry where you laid it all on the plate here. So get that out of the pan. And these glass containers by Pampered Chef are really awesome for storing. A big shout out to our local constituents of Pampered Chef. That would be Lisa Kornmeyer and Sheila Harris. They've sold us a really good bunch of stuff between these containers. They come in all different sizes too, and that's the neat thing. You get a set of different sizes based on what you're going to put in the fridge. And the strainers they've sold us, and the measuring spoons they sold us, all kinds of excellent things for the kitchen. So look up your local Pampered Chef people and see what you can get from Pampered Chef. There's some great things. Now to make the rest of the escabeche, now that our fish is in the container, nice and browned up and nice and done. That's the neat thing about cooking with fish, is the fact that you can make it quickly. It's not a long, drawn-out thing with raw juice to watch out for so much like it is with meat or in poultry and things. You just have to watch yourself a little bit and wash your hands, but it's not the same thing. Alright, so we're going to take now a 1/4 cup of olive oil and add that right over the fish. Everything we put on goes right over the fish. 1/4 cup of olive oil. Goes right over it. Duck it in the fridge here. Or a 1/4 cup of orange juice. That goes right over it too. I'm just opening this up here first thing today, so this gets the first bunch of orange juice from this new tomato. And of course I always like the kind that's fortified with calcium. Any orange juice with calcium will help you get calcium your bones. And that goes right over it. And then you're going to take some of our tarragon spice and give it about 3 tablespoons. Solamente uno. Solamente dos. Tres. Right over that fish. All this is going to do is sit and season. Put a little vinegar in. Doesn't really say how much. So if you have a big jug of vinegar like this, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon. It just says vinegar, you know. So it's really up to you and your taste. Or if you want to get a spiced vinegar of any kind, this is regular white. In over it goes. And 2 bay leaves. Bay leaves always season food well, don't they? There you go, here's one that's kind of folding. There's a nice big full one. 2 bay leaves over that fish. Just the tiniest little pinch of salt. I'm not much for a sodium person, but I'll put a little in, you know what I'm saying? Pinch of salt. Right over it. Then you take your white pepper. I like peppers better than I do salt. Just the tiniest little bit of that too. Because white pepper, I don't know if you've never had white pepper before, it's quite spicy compared to black pepper that we're mostly used to. It's about 1/8 of a teaspoon. It's in there, believe me. And I'm going to shake that right over there. Take your orange peel. Maybe about a tablespoon of that. Or if you're going to grind your own oranges, about 2 oranges worth, tablespoon, right over the fish. And then you're going to take your cut up onion and green pepper. And again, put it right over the fish. Spread it right over like I'm doing right now. See, that's sitting right on top of it. Everything's on top of it. And you can spread it all around of what you put in there. Everything's going to sit with that fish and get it nice and spiced up. And then top it off with a little garlic, of course. Enjoy your garlic, never hurt anybody. I always like to take a nice big heaping spoonful. I know they say, oh, so many cloves and everything, and 1 clove is only 1/8 of a teaspoon, blah, blah, blah. Get the garlic in there, folks. Forget all that. When it comes to garlic, you can't have enough. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, because it's good for you. Let that mix right in with all the other spices and all the other things you put in here. That, folks, is the first part of escabeche. Now you're going to let it sit in the fridge, covered. Take your handy dandy air-locking sides from good old Pampered Chef, and it's going to be in the fridge for about 12 hours or so. A couple days later, and it doesn't have to be a couple days, it calls for at least 12 hours, but I just happened to make this up a couple days later, letting it savor and everything. It's time to take it out of the fridge. And you can do anything with escabeche. You can do tortillas, any kind of thing you want. I'm making these into arepas. Little Swiss chard and fresh tomato. And we're going to have us an awesome escabeche arepa. We're cutting these right now. And then you're going to add maybe a little wild rice on the side. Nice little dish. So you're not heating up your house on a hot summer day. You're having some fresh local veggies. And something that is going to be so hot you can't stand it when it's 80 degrees out. Escabeche, arepas in this case. Made into arepas. There's the escabeche. And there's the plate ready for dinner. This is Migueltio, the Latino, saying, hey, when it's hot out, you still have to eat. So don't forget to feed yourself. Don't forget to get plenty of water. Something to keep you from dehydrating. Keep warm. Keep from getting too warm. Keep cool, keep safe this summer. Hasta luego.